I'm so excited to present to you our chemist interview today. We were very fortunate to get an interview with well-established chemist, Dr. Crespo of Case Western Reserve University. My colleagues and I got to ask questions about his daily life, his struggles to become a chemist, and what his passion was in the field. So, without further ado, enjoy Dr. Crespo. So, doc, Dr. Hernandez, uh, as a chem, like as a now chem major, I really wanted to ask you about like how does your career on a typical day look?
Okay, so please call me Carlos. If you want to use my last name, it would be Crespo.
Okay, Crespo.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Crespo would be simpler than Hernandez. Um, so a typical day for me as a chemist, because I have two hats. I'm chemistry faculty. I'm also associate dean for research in the College of Art and Science. You want to know everything a typical day that include, or just as a chemist?
Uh, just as a chemist.
Okay, so as a chemist, I come to the university and to my office. I teach chemistry course. Depending on the semester, we teach either a graduate course. My area of expertise is in physical chemistry. So if I'm teaching a graduate course in physical chemistry, it's either chemical kinetics, quantum chemistry, or photochemistry, environmental photochemistry. That is the other area that I teach. When if it's the spring semester, I teach on the graduate course, and so the first thing that I come is to do is either PChem course or the PChem laboratory. Those are typically the courses that I teach. And so if I have class that day, I come early and get prepared for teaching the class of that day. And so after that, in the morning when I wake up, the first things that I do, I check my emails and answer some emails that may have urgency. But then after that, when I come to my office, I try to start getting ready for any teaching that I have to do. After that, usually take the time to work with students, have a research group. So students have questions about the research that are doing. And so we usually spend time answering those questions and working with them. If I'm not doing that, I'm writing a paper of the research that we have already accomplished. And if you're not doing that, I'm trying to write a new proposal to get more funding to continue sponsoring the research. So typically my day evolves in those areas. We also, as a faculty, have to do service at the department and the university level. So I may be meeting with other faculty, discussing topics of relevance to the department and to the students. And yeah, that will be a typical day. So I keep doing those type of things over and over every day, sometimes including Saturdays and Sundays. So
Yeah, that sounds like a full day.
it's
A good variety, though.
if a lifestyle.
Yeah.
Being a chemist or being a scientist is a lifestyle. You need to like it, and be any science or any other faculty position will be the same. So,
So was there a specific thing that caused you to want to have a career in chemistry, either as a professor or a researcher? Or was it a spur of the moment choice like Ray? Like, could you give us some details on that?
sure, yeah. So when I was about 15 years old, I knew that I liked science. I spent a lot of time looking and seeing and thinking how the the different things in the world works as they work. But I was more interested in being a MD, a doctor. And the reason why I wanted to be a doctor was because I'm coming from a very poor town, a poor family in Puerto Rico. And in my town, the only thing that I saw as a model was this physician that was working in the town, that everyone in the town knew him, and he also have a good house, and he was living a good life. And so I say, I want to be something like him. So I want to have my good car and have money to live and get out of the poverty. So I say I have to be a doctor. And I went to I was educated in a public school in Puerto Rico, which is not the best schools. But luckily for me, one of my teachers in the high school was really good teacher, and taught me a lot about mathematics. And so I was really good at mathematics. I have a strong background in mathematics. And so when I took the entrance exam to go to the university, I passed the exam really because of my mathematical background, not because of anything else. But I still wanted to be a doctor at that time. So then I go to the university. I entered the first year in the university that I went in Puerto Rico. You can take a science course right away. And so I took biology, I took calculus and physics. The first semester of biology, I hated. It was a lot of memorization. It was all about botanics, and I can't even recall the details. And it was so difficult for me that I start second guessing, do I really want to be a doctor? If there is anything else that I can do. However, the other courses in calculus and in physics came easier to me. And so it was not that I didn't have to study and they were not hard, but if I put the effort, I was able to do better. And so then my one of the faculty there, the physics department, told, you may consider, if you like physics and you like mathematics, maybe become a physicist or working as a scientist. And so I started considering that idea. Then I went and took chemistry the next year. And when I took chemistry, I was also pretty good at it. Anything that have not to do with memorization, I was able to manage well. And in that time, that was in my second year, the faculty say, hey, I think that you really have good analytical and critical thinking skills. You should start doing research. And I say, well, I have never done research, and why not? And so he recommended me a faculty where I can go and do research. And I went and worked. This was a physical chemist professor. And as soon as I entered the research group and started going to the group meetings, I was hooked up. That's when I realized this is what I want to be in my life. I was very excited to be doing research. I was very excited in that environment, seeing new things, discussing and just making hypotheses and discussing new topics. And so that's how I realized that I wanted to be a science. And the more close that relates to the things that I'm good at it are physics, chemistry, and mathematics. And so physical chemistry lend itself in a good path. And so that's how I went and complete my bachelor in chemistry with minor in physics and in mathematics, and then went to graduate school in chemistry and did my PhD in chemistry. But it was mostly the love for research and my passion for research that took me in this path.
Yeah, I'm glad you said that because I had like a similar epiphany this year. When taking my bio course, I kind of understood that I really didn't want to be a bio major right now because exactly like you, I don't like doing like memorization. I'm more of like a math oriented person too, and I think I was just like following along with all my like my siblings have done because the four of them that are above me, they are all bio majors, and I think I got strung into that, but I really do like chemistry though.
Yeah, is the easy path. You see somebody do something else, you say, this is what my family have done. So usually that's the path of the less resistance. And I'm glad to hear that you were able to expand your knowledge and find something that really engages you. I think that no matter what you do, I don't have any family that is a doctor or any of that, but I know many people that are in the. My wife now is a physician, but in my close family there was no. As I said, we're coming from a. But my father had the highest education in my family, and he went to make a bachelor degree at the university. That was the highest education. So we didn't have in my family any professional at higher level. And so I didn't have that to relate to, but I have the physician in my town. And so if never thought about, nobody in my family have done research. And so I never thought about it. I took the chance because a faculty told me you should try and see. I said that you're gonna like it. And I found my passion. And so but basically what I want to say here is that as a student, this is the time to explore, and you should be open to explore everything that is available at the university. It's a great place to explore, and you may find your passion right away, and maybe you already know what you want. Maybe Keji already wants to be a physician, and he knows, and he's set. That's great. But many of the students, it take a little bit longer. So you should explore, be open, and eventually you're gonna click. And when it click, then you just go for it, and you do what have to be done. So
What are some of your accomplishments so far as a chemist?
as a chemist, well, I got my PhD. I got a faculty position as a researcher in a PhD major research university in the United States. I have published more than 100 papers in my area of expertise. I'm an associate editor of a journal. And more importantly, and what give me more reward is I have graduated 10 PhDs as part of my research group so far. So I have been able to educate 10 people to become a PhD and then do either, not all goes to the academy, some of them have gone to the industry, some of them have gone to national labs. In that process also, I have educated and trained about 45 undergraduates in my research group in the last 15 years and 6 postdocs. So those are, I think, my major accomplishments. And I have teach more than 1,000 students here. So that's also another accomplishment, I guess. Definitely more than probably 5,000 students in 15 years. So.
Okay, and if you could pick one or two best or fun moments from your career, what would it be?
Best and fun moment will be every time that I have a graduate student defending their thesis and they defend it successfully. It's when I feel more happy and more proud because it's not easy. Doing a bachelor is not easy. Being in the college is not easy, but doing a PhD work and doing research to complete a PhD is even more difficult. It's very hard. It takes time. There is a lot to learn. And so you see the process of the student coming without much skill and knowledge, and then in 5 years becoming expert in the field and being able to defend their work in front of other experts with PhD, it's really rewarding. It really made me very proud and happy. Okay, where we were?
Ray, you got it?
Yeah. So the next question I wanted to go into was talking about like what resources did you use like as you were going through your career to become so successful?
Was mostly hard work. Because I have very little resources, being from a poor family with not very good education. So I just was work as hard as I can and work as much as I could to do what I wanted to do. So that was the primary thing. But in addition to that, I would say I use friends. So I developed friends in college, which helped me as a resources to continue moving forward, studying for exams, working in the research group, in collaboration. And that was mainly the way that I make it. After that, when I went to after graduation, you have to do a postdoctoral study in order if you want to become a faculty with a research group. And so when I went to do a postdoctoral work in actually in the States, in Ohio, I did it in Ohio State University. The new resources that I had there was a good mentor. So my mentor helped me a lot, and he guided me through the process, and he mentioned the things that I have to do to become successful. And then other research member of the group, that other postdocs and other grad students that we work together to move forward. Then as a faculty, when I start here 15 years ago, the university put you a faculty mentor, a faculty that have been doing this for a long time. And so that was another good resource that I have, because that person, that faculty member, helped me to know what are the things that I have to do, how you stay in line, what are the goals that I have to meet in order to get the tenure, and then become associate professor, then full professor. So I think that relationships that you develop and the networking is one of the best resources that you should use. Everyone should use. But other than that, it's all about doing the work and working hard. And so having that determination to do what it takes to get where you want is the first thing. Without that, you can have all the network, you can have money, you can have everything, but you need to do the work.
Thank you. This is just like more of a fun question. You can answer it as much or as little as you'd like, but outside of your career, what do you enjoy doing just with your free time?
If you ask me before having kids or after having kids.
That's a good question.
Yeah, so now that I have kids, I have two, and most of I do is to work around them. A lot of sports. My son is in baseball, in basketball, in soccer. So
Love it.
the weekends is going to be with them. I help as a coach in the teams that are my son is. My daughter, on the other hand, she likes theater and music, and so I go a lot of play and a lot of music for my daughter. And so most of the time now, that's how I spend my free time, is running back and forward with my kids. The rest of the time is working in the yard. I have a house, and I like to do the yard work myself. That take my mind out of the regular day, and so I just do the lawn, do the housings, and that is give me joy. Other than that, when we have a chance, I like sport, outdoor sports. So I play basketball with my sons or my daughter, baseball. We do hiking here in Cleveland in the parks. And before that, I was a scuba diver. I like to jump for airplanes, so I parachute.
That's cool.
Yeah,
That is cool.
I was also in a speleology group, so we visit cave and do cartography in the caves. But that was before having kids. I still love it. I would still like to do it. I'm waiting that my daughter become 18 years old to get with her in a parachute and jump from an airplane. That's the first. That would be my birthday gift to her. And
That's
the same
awesome.
with my son. But yeah, after you have kids, it's mostly the work. Every 5 minutes that I have free is something related to them. I'm happy, so I enjoyed it. And so, but yeah, that's how I have fun nowadays.
It's a great variety, though. That's awesome.
All right. So to end it, can you tell us about any difficulties you faced in college and any advice you have for students pursuing the STEM careers?
Yeah, my most advice is the more important advice is believe in yourself and do the work that it takes to get it done what you like. And so trust on yourself, follow your instinct, work hard. All careers, I don't say that this is only STEAM related, but any job nowadays require that you have a passion, that you like it, and that you work hard to get it done. There is no easy job, professional job. Okay, and so for me, that's how I got where I am currently is being focused, working hard, trusting myself. You will have people around you, faculty, teachers that may disencourage you and say, well, you may consider doing something else. And I don't, I never follow, I follow recommendations, but I first follow my passion and what I think that I really enjoy and what I like to do. And so I think that that's key because you will hear many people saying different things. No, I think that you should do X, you should do Y, or do you. That's my recommendation. Find something that you like, and if you like it, work hard to get it done and go for it. Even when you like it, which I think, I can tell you, I wake up every morning happy to come to work because I love research. I love working with students. I love interacting with other people about topics that are being current and that we are learning all together. And so every day I like to come to work. And even there, it's not easy. It's tough. It's hard. It takes time. Sometimes it's a roller coaster. You have good days and bad days. And so I think that it's very important to really love what you're doing and trust on yourself and work for it. If you work for it, you will get it done.
Thank you. I wanted to add something real quick. Could you go a little bit deeper into your research group as a whole?
Sure. How much time you have? But so let me tell you as brief as I can. So I mentioned to you guys that I'm a physical chemist, and so we work particularly in the interaction of light with matter. Matter being any any chemistry, and so that is what we call photochemists. And so I work in the area of photochemistry, and as part of that is very wide. So we use the interaction of light with matter to understand chemistry. The research topics that I'm interested are understanding how the radiation from the sun damage the skin and cause cancer in people. So we have a research area in that topic. We also study the interaction of light with matter in terms of making photovoltaics and energy conversion devices. We also have another area that is using light to kill the cancer cells. And so it's an area called photodynamic therapy, where you develop you develop drugs or molecules that can be used to absorb light, and then the molecule itself kill or damage the cancer cells. So a large part of our group work in that area of developing new compounds that have the potential to be used as drugs for photodynamic therapy and to treat cancer. And we do that with the collaboration with the School of Medicine and the Cancer Center here at Western Reserve. And so my students do everything from chemistry to cell biology to organic chemistry. We also use lasers to study the process in time. And so we have spectroscopy techniques. We also do theory. That's why quantum chemistry is important for us. We use quantum chemistry to understand what is happening at the molecular level. And we combine all that to study those research areas. One more research area that we focus and do, although right now we're not doing it because I don't have a graduate student in that area, is the interaction of light with pollutants in the environment. So environmental pollution and how the sun interaction with those pollutants cause photochemical events of relevance to society.
That's very interesting. It sounds like a lot of real world application stuff, which is, to me, more interesting, at least.
Yeah, so I'm originally a fundamental chemist. I do a lot of fundamental chemistry, but all of this we try to apply in some areas. So we still do the fundamental chemistry and physics and spectroscopy, but then try to apply to something. And so, yeah, I think that is very important. There is nothing bad with just doing fundamental chemistry or science. That's perfectly fine, but it's a little bit more impactful when you apply that to something that has societal value right away.
True. So I would like to thank you, Crespo, for taking your time out your day to let us interview you and ask you questions about your life and your career. We really do appreciate it, especially like you helping us with our project.
Yeah, more than happy, and anytime. If you go to chemistry, consider Western Reserve to do your PhD.
True.
We need more students here. We'll be more than welcome here. Any of you.
Thank you.
Okay, guys. Nice to meet you.
Have a great day. Thank you.
Good luck with
Have a great day.
your career.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
That was one heck of an interview, if I do say so myself. But here's some afterthought that I wanted to address before letting you guys go. Dr. Crespo has so many fantastic scientific papers you can read. I personally like the one on DNA and RNA, nucleotide bases and derivatives. So go take a read. But I just wanted to say how important it is to look up people and discover people in your fields, in your majors. Even if you don't go into chem, it's really important to see like what you want through your college career and what's best for you. But that's all I wanted to say. Have a blessed day. Thank you.